I'm the director of an NGO called Organismo, Fundación Organizmo, and this is a collaboration between Organismo, WeArc Revision Media, and Lumack Studio. Organismo is an NGO. We work in Colombia with indigenous communities, and we work accompanying collective processes of construction based on strengthening local resources and knowledges. We are in the last years working in 2 rivers, in the Vaupés in the Amazon and in the Orinoquia. And we have a center in Tenjo, in the outskirts of Bogotá, where we create collective construction processes around local resources as well. So we have an educational center and we work with communities. This vessel for Liminal Dialogue is an architecture that we've been proposing as an understanding that we are weaving not only infrastructures, but we're weaving a social thread, and we're working in regeneration, socially, culturally, and ecosystem-wise. So our proposal is to bring back the idea of listening to the territories, the voices of the territories, being the local materials, the guide for us to understand how to create habitats and how to strengthen the relationship between culture and territory. One of the most important things that we're presenting through the video and through this way of construction is this understanding that we've received from the communities, the settlements, the original settlements that we work with, which is the learning of creating houses of thought, or malocas, or cultural epicenters. In this architecture with original towns, their cosmovision becomes architecture. What does this mean? The way that they understand the life, the deities, what is sacred, the cycles of life, the interactions among the community, everything is represented in the architecture, and everything is sheltered. So we've been understanding from this ancestral way of building the importance of creating these epicenters of care, to understand architecture as a way to sheltering the word and the thought, to be able to shelter also the well-being of the community and the relationship with the ecosystem. And this is from many years of learning from this very pristine way of building, where everything comes from the guidance of nature. In order to understand how to interact with the habitat, we are trying to understand where do we belong and how do we belong. And spirituality starts to become a crucial search or quest. And we are a hybrid culture. We're not an indigenous community with our ancestors alive. We are Western educators, but we do have this understanding that we're doing something wrong, away from our belonging, or away from our understanding of what do we belong to. When we work with indigenous communities, we learn that the fire is a spirit, the water is a spirit, the wind is a spirit. So we start understanding that architecture should also shelter these elements, in able to honor life. So that's why in the malocas there's always a fire. When we enter a sacred place, we do offerings, like in any temple. So our question is also when can we take back architecture as a creation of our own temples, to understand the rituality of life, to give back, to be grateful, to be the beginning of a reciprocity with all interconnections of life. And if from there we start creating and designing and building collectively, then infrastructures and shelters can be rooted deeply in the voices of the territory.